Alright, Lanta, so today it's finally time for us to start talking about who the upcoming 9th anniversary character is going to be, because less than 24 hours ago, we did get our first sign of the 9th anniversary character or characters with the release of the 9th anniversary teaser trailer. And if you are as excited as I am for the upcoming 9th anniversary, make sure you show support by getting this video to 900 likes, of course, for the 9th anniversary. At the same time, if you want to leave your prediction and your theory, feel free to comment here, but if you want it to be seen in our next video, I recommend going over to our community page and leave your comment there too, because I am going to be doing a reaction video to them tomorrow to see what some of you like to have to say in regards to the upcoming 9th anniversary characters. And with that out of the way, before we do talk about who the character can be and who this trailer is potentially teasing, firstly, let's actually break down the trailer. And the trailer itself is actually very similar to last year's trailer, where they don't give us any text. Past anniversaries, for example, would have text potentially teasing the whole theme of the anniversary. Sometimes they would give us quotes, and sometimes they would waste most of the trailer showcasing past anniversary characters. In this case, it's more similar to the 8th anniversary trailer, where we're thrown straight into the trailer, a battle seems to be going on, and that's the only context clues that we have. As always with any trailer like this, it's best to take things at face value and don't look too deep into things. But if you want to, by all means go ahead, that's the fun in these trailers. The trailer itself, though, starts off with the new Bleach 1000-Year Blood War logo, and with that we can also see the dark red sky, clearly indicating that whatever's going on in this trailer is happening after the Quincy's take over the Serite, clearly giving us a good indication that this is based on 1000-Year Blood War Season 2. And if that wasn't already clear, we then pan down seeing the Vandenreich city, where we get a good look at the blue buildings that are covered in ice. The trailer then quickly fades to black, which kind of gives me the implication that it's going to a different scene, a different setting, but at the same time, it looks like an explosion happens, a blue explosion, which is then followed up by slashes and potentially arrows. It could be both. They are very generic slashes, so it's really hard to tell what is going on here, but multiple slashes are coming across our screen, whether it's from a Zanpakuto or an arrow. They are white slashes that on impact spark black. After these slashes are then done, we once more zoom in, which if you slow down the clip, it looks like there's either a mist or an ice that lingers, but now we can see a different type of setting. There's no longer any background buildings, looks like we're potentially in the sky, and the floor itself then cracks open. After that, the 9th anniversary text then appears, and after a second, it cracks open. And that was this year's anniversary teaser trailer. Now, it definitely is worth mentioning that while this trailer is playing, we of course can hear the 9th anniversary OST, and the OST itself is actually a violin theme this time around, which is very similar to the Senna OST from the Bleach Fade to Black movie. So with the trailer broken down, now let's have a look at the potential candidates for this year's anniversary character. Because remember, whenever we are guessing who the anniversary character can be, KLab do provide us a list of names, and this year's list was actually a tad bit different. There are a lot of different names this time around, but also the list of characters are also a lot smaller compared to previous years, making the potential guessing game a lot easier. And now that we've seen the trailer, now that we have the list of characters on your screen, let's go down and remove some of these characters based on the context of the trailer, so we can narrow down the list of names to potentially have a better idea on who this character can be. So first up, let's talk about Ichigo. He is the main character of Bleach, and every single year without fail, he has been part of the anniversary some way, shape, or form, whether it's part 1, part 2, or the prelude to the anniversary. Now this year is actually very similar to the 6th anniversary, where Ichigo wasn't part 1 or part 2. Instead, he got his own special banner. For 6th anniversary, we had the Epic Ichigo release, and then right now, a whole month before the anniversary even starts, we have a 9th anniversary renewed Mugetsu. And to me personally, it's quite telling that given this character's release right now, given that they're calling him an anniversary character, a 9th anniversary character specifically, despite him being a remake of a 4th anniversary character, it's clear KLab don't have plans to release another Ichigo for the actual 9th anniversary, and this is their way of giving us a 9th anniversary Ichigo. And in terms of the context of the trailer too, the only way this trailer could be hinting at Ichigo if it was true Shikai Ichigo, which we've already gotten 2 copies of. And if that wasn't already enough evidence that we aren't getting an Ichigo this year, because technically we already got it, KLab also did do a special 9th anniversary news video where they had Morita, the voice actor of Ichigo, react to the 9th anniversary trailer and also try and guess who the character was hinting at. If this trailer was hinting at Ichigo, they wouldn't get in to guess the character, right? So I think it's quite safe to say that this is going to be one of the few years where Ichigo isn't in part 1 or part 2, still part of the anniversary since we just got a 9th anniversary Mugetsu, but I don't see Ichigo making the cut for this year's anniversary character. So with that in mind, we are going to be removing him from the list. After that, we are then going to remove Chad, Uryu, and also Orihime. And the reason itself should be quite clear. Uryu has already seen an anniversary character in the past. Chad and Orihime haven't done anything. Likewise with Uryu, during this part of the story, they haven't done anything to warrant a character in general, let alone an anniversary character. After that, we are then going to remove Byakuya, Toshiro, Aizen, Grimmjow, Neliel, White, Isshin, Misaki, and also Ryukin. A lot of names, right? Now, I'm removing Byakuya and Toshiro because nothing in this trailer really screams them, personally. Plus, at the same time, they have already received 1,000 Year Blood characters in the past, especially Toshiro recently receiving a Season 2 1,000 Year Blood character. Aizen, Grimmjow, and Neliel do not appear at this part in the story. They haven't done anything just yet. And then White, Isshin, and Misaki already recently got characters. And then someone like Ryukin, it's Ryukin. He can't even get a 1,000 Year Blood character. No way he's getting an anniversary character. After that, we're then going to remove some captains, in this case Soifon, Mayuri, Retsu, Shunsui, Jushiro, and also Genrisai. Now, some characters like Soifon and Mayuri definitely do something during this part, and they're definitely going to get 1,000 Year Blood characters sometime in the future. I just don't see them being anniversary headliners. In the case for Shunsui, Jushiro, Kisuke, and Yoruichi, again, during this part of the story, they haven't done anything just yet. And then for characters like Genrisai and also Retsu, we literally just got them last year, but at the same time, this trailer is clearly hinting at Season 2 characters. Retsu and Genrisai do not appear in Season 2. But moving on, we can then remove some of the star writers, in this case Yugrim, Bambietta, Basby, Lil Toto, Menina, Benice, Candice, Gwenelle, and also Giselle are the characters we are then going to remove. In this case, some of them are quite obvious, someone like Bambietta, which potentially is being hinted at here in this trailer, but we know from data mines that Bambietta is going to be getting a swimsuit character in less than a week's time. Likewise with Menina and also Candice, they are getting swimsuit characters. I don't see them getting an anniversary character and then also a swimsuit character in the course of a month. That would be absolutely ridiculous. Nothing in this trailer screams Yugrim for me. Benice and Gwenelle honestly shouldn't even be in this list. Why are they included here? And then Giselle and Little Toto, while I do want them to get characters sometime soon, hopefully sooner than later, but nothing in this trailer again screams those two characters. And I'd be very surprised if they were ever somehow featured in part 1 of an anniversary. And in my opinion, those are all the names that we can easily cross off, and that leaves us with 7 remaining characters. Rukia, Renji, Kenpachi, Sajin, Shinji, Yuha, and also Grammy. And if we have a closer look at each individual character, let's explain why it might be them and why it might not be them. So first up is Rukia. Now, I think in this entire list, excluding Ichigo, Rukia is the most popular character, and also in a way the most important character. She is, after all, the second main character of Bleach, and I'm being truthfully honest, bias aside, it's absolutely ridiculous that we haven't had an anniversary of Rukia in 9 years of Bleach Brave Souls. The context of the trailer is that there's a fight going on during Season 2 of 1,000 Year Blood War, and Rukia vs Esnot, but more specifically Rukia's Bankai, is easily the biggest thing to happen from Core 2. Additionally, within the trailer itself, we can of course hear the new 9th anniversary OST, and it's very similar again to the Senna OST, which is a lot of the times accompanied by Rukia when she's using her Shikai abilities. I've even seen some people say that this OST for Senna is Rukia's unofficial theme. So maybe the soundtrack this year might be one of the bigger hints on what the anniversary character could be. At the same time though, as we do see in this trailer, there are fights going on. And unfortunately, in the character list that we do have, Esnot is not included. So in my opinion, that does potentially lessen the chance of Rukia being the anniversary character, but I don't think it outright deconfirms her, because they definitely don't have to do Esnot and Rukia. While yes, the trailer itself is showing that a fight is going on, we have seen in past anniversary trailers, more specifically the 8th anniversary trailer, wherein if they are showing a fight scene between two characters, it doesn't necessarily confirm both characters are going to be an anniversary character. If we have a closer look at the 8th anniversary trailer, it was White versus Isshin on top of the rooftop. It was clearly hinting at everything but the rain. But then when the characters themselves got revealed, Isshin was nowhere to be seen. It was more so just showing that we were getting a White. So in this case, despite fights going on in this trailer, potentially multiple fights, it doesn't necessarily confirm both participants of said fight. And in this case, Rukia could still be getting hinted at here, and Rukia as a character, depending on the theme of the anniversary, can easily be paired with other characters like Renji, for example. Speaking of Renji, he's really here just because, again, similar to Rukia, he does fight during this part. Depending on the filming of the anniversary, if they wanted to do a Rukia and Renji, they definitely could do that. And likewise with Renji, unfortunately for him, Mask is not on this list. So the only way I could see them doing a Rukia or Renji anniversary is probably by doing them both together. Next up, we have Kenpachi. Right now, probably the most likely outcome for this anniversary trailer. Kenpachi as a character is massively popular. His Shikai release is one of the bigger parts from Core 2 of 1,000 Year Blood War. At the same time, Kenpachi as a character hasn't had a character in over 2 years. So while some people might think, oh, a Kenpachi for anniversary, that's boring, we haven't had Kenpachi in 2 years. This is actually kind of big news if we want to get a new Kenpachi. But the leading thing right now going for Kenpachi and potentially even Grummy is that final scene where it potentially looks like this arena is in the sky as we can no longer see buildings in the background, and the floor itself does split apart, which again is very similar to when Grummy did that to Kenpachi. Although to play devil's advocate to go against the theory that this is Kenpachi and also Grummy, the floor itself in the trailer versus what we see in the anime is completely different. The background and angle is somewhat similar, but the floor itself is completely different. It doesn't resemble the anime scene itself, and the way the floor splits apart in the trailer when compared to the anime, it's a lot more forceful in the trailer. The anime, since it is Grummy just imagining it, it kind of just appears split. In the trailer, it feels like someone's forcefully making the floor split. And like I mentioned, the texture of the floor itself is a lot different when compared to the actual arena that Kenpachi and Grummy do fight in. The floor in this case more resembles the actual start of the trailer, the natural floor of the Vandenreich city. Does this mean anything? Am I looking too deep into it? I'm not too sure, but I thought it was worth mentioning. And unlike Renji and Rukia, both Grummy and Kenpachi characters that fight against each other are on the list of characters potentially being this year's anniversary character. So Kenpachi, in my opinion, definitely has the highest chance here, but I don't think he's going to be the only character. I definitely think this year might be 2 or 3 anniversary characters, not just 1. And as for our second character, let's briefly talk about Grummy. I personally don't think Grummy is this year's anniversary character, even if we are going to get an anniversary Kenpachi. Grummy just doesn't seem like an anniversary headliner to me. Now, while it's true, yes, last year we did get an 8th anniversary White, no one ever expected him to be an anniversary character. But as a character, White, despite not being like the most prevalent character in the series, has really big importance in the story and the lore behind Ichigo's powers. And that was the entire theme of the 8th anniversary, the origin of Blades. White is the origin of Ichigo's powers, his hollow powers in particular, and he was also never in the game, so it still felt kinda fresh. And White's actually a really cool character, let's be honest. And even Ichigo as a character, despite technically being a canon character, still felt a tad bit special given that it was Ichigo right when he unlocked his new blades. It wasn't just a remake of Gettouga Jujutsu Ichigo, it was a special anniversary Ichigo. An Ichigo that wouldn't have been possible other than, for an anniversary. But as for Grummy, he's just, while being a cool Sternritter, he appears for 1 episode and dies. While yes, he does allow Kenpachi to go all out and activate his Shikai, in terms of story and relevance, Grummy doesn't have that much importance, besides just being a random villain of the week. So personally, despite this maybe hinting at Kenpachi and Grummy, I just don't think it's going to be Grummy. Even though last year and the 4th anniversary were canon anniversaries, which might be the case this year, they still felt special. It was Ichigo's biggest forms, and it was Ichigo's origin of powers. What would be the theme of this year if it was Kenpachi and Grummy? Just a random fight? It wouldn't really sell an anniversary for me personally. I'd still be excited for it, more so Kenpachi, but it definitely would feel out of place when compared to the previous 8 anniversaries, unless for some reason they had original designs. Moving on to some other characters, Shinji and Sajin maybe don't scream anniversary, and truthfully, maybe it's a bit of bias here that I am still including them in this list. Again, in my opinion, the trailer that we do have, I personally think it's hinting at multiple fights, right? Going back to Kenpachi and Grummy, well, yes, you can definitely make the case that that final scene is hinting at Kenpachi and Grummy. The previous stuff beforehand is definitely not. The white slashes, which potentially can come from Zanpakutos or arrows, I mean, we don't really see that in Kenpachi vs. Grummy. The first initial explosion, which seems to be different from the slashes, again, you don't really see that in Kenpachi and Grummy. So that's the main reason why I have included Sajin and also Shinji. I don't necessarily think they have a chance, but maybe they do, I don't know. Assuming that this trailer might be hinting at multiple characters and multiple fights, maybe again the theme of anniversary for part 1 this year is going to be the Surfers that we all know and love getting all their new power-ups. Bankai Shinji, Bankai Sajin, Bankai Renji, Rukia, or Shikai Kenpachi. Either of these 5 characters in my opinion, but more so Kenpachi. And then the last character to talk about is going to be Yuha. Again, once more, maybe Copium. I've seen a lot of people say this trailer is hinting at Yuha, but I haven't really seen any good reasons why it could be him. You could make the case that because they are showcasing multiple fights, maybe it's Yuha watching all these fights happen at the same time. And maybe this is hinting at Yuha. And that definitely could be the case. Of course, fan service wise, Yuha being the 9th anniversary character would be really, really cool given the whole 9 theme that Yuha has gone through. 900 years, 90 years, 9 days the world ends, etc. It'd be too perfect if it was Yuha. But if it was going to be Yuha, it definitely has to be an original design, because otherwise the character wouldn't feel special enough because we literally just got a Yuha less than 6 months ago. Now, moving away from the characters for a second, let's quickly talk about how many characters we might get for part 1 of the anniversary. Now, ever since the 4th anniversary, including the 6th anniversary, every year we've always gotten 2 anniversary characters. The 6th year was again a bit of a weird one because they separated the anniversary characters. Artbook and Aizen were in 2 separate banners, but they were easily that year's anniversary character, right? This year we have gotten a 9th anniversary Mugetsu, but given that he released in June and not a week before the anniversary part 1 like Artbook Ichigo did, I don't think Mugetsu is going to take away from part 1 of the 9th anniversary. So I definitely do think we are at least getting 2 anniversary characters this year for part 1, potentially even 3, who actually knows. And we potentially can see that in the actual prize for guessing this year's anniversary character, as the prize itself seems to be a mouse mat. Now, personally, I don't think any character is big enough in terms of design where they can fit that entire mouse mat. Last year, we actually had an 8th anniversary mouse mat, and it did include both Ichigo and also White. So I think we're definitely at least getting 2 characters, unless for some reason the mouse mat is literally just Shikai Kenpachi's whole blade. That'd be kind of funny. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get more than 2 characters, maybe even 3 characters, because again, at least to me personally, the trailer itself seems to be hinting at 3 different fights. The first initial explosion, the slashes being the second fight, and then the third fight is the ground splitting apart. So to wrap up the video and to do a quick recap, this year I don't think we are getting an anniversary Ichigo, given that we literally just got Mugetsu Ichigo. Likewise, I don't think this 9th anniversary Mugetsu Ichigo is taken away from the upcoming part 1 anniversary character. So I do believe we can at least get 2, maybe even 3 characters this year. In terms of the characters that have the most likely outcome, I think Kenpachi has the best chance here. But I don't think Kenpachi will be alone, and I don't think he'll be accompanied by Gremmy. If it is potentially a Kenpachi and Gremmy banner, they have to have original designs, because otherwise that would just feel like a normal end of month banner. I think Rukia and Yuha definitely still have a chance, but that definitely might be copium. So I guess my big 3 prediction is going to be Kenpachi, Rukia, and also Yuha. Not together, but it definitely could go either way. I personally do believe that the leading theory that it is Kenpachi vs Gremmy based on the actual crack at the end of the trailer doesn't make up for the first half of the trailer, which doesn't really hint at those 2 characters. But at the same time, I think Kenpachi and Gremmy is way too obvious, and maybe we're not really getting the full picture of what Caleb are trying to say with this trailer. While I do think this year's anniversary will be canon, I don't think it's 100% confirmed. For all we know, they again could surprise us with original designs like we saw with the 5th anniversary. Remember the 5th anniversary trailer? Part 1, Part 2? And even the reveal, nothing hinted or even signified that these characters were going to get original designs. Literally, the start of the 5th anniversary trailer was Ichigo and Byakuya battling in Society on the Sokyoku Hill. It was only into the reveal when it happened when we realized, oh crap, these are originals again. So for all we know, this year could still be original. There's no guarantee that it is 100% canon characters. Either way though, that was the video for today. Might have rambled on long enough, right? And unfortunately, I don't have like a dead set unique prediction, right? I think most people are saying Kenpachi, but I did want to talk about each individual character and explain why it could be them and why it might not be them. But again, if you do want to let me know your theories on who could be the 9th anniversary character, if it is different from mine, let me know in the comments below. But if you do want me to read your theory on video, I recommend going over to my community page and leaving it there too. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Take care and peace.